All right, we're live
Okay, man,
now
we're
on the
trying
number.
this shit again. We are live. Pancakes and Powerbombs. Clash at the Castle pre-show, man. I'm being invaded again by my brothers. Kevin Impact from
Damn right.
JTV Wrestling and Babyface Trevor. What's going
Don't
on,
forget
fellas?
Trey,
How you doing? How you doing?
GTA character come to life, man. All right, top that. Too much for you to handle.
Hey,
Thank
ain't nothing wrong with that, my man.
We are live this time, right? Shit, they're
Yeah,
trying to
we are
trying
live
to
this
shut us
time.
down,
We are
man.
fucking live this time.
you.
We
Is
had,
Eric Bischoff selling the company again? What's going on? Like,
hey, they could. It may be. But
you the
we
boss.
got a lot. We got a lot to talk about today. First, man, welcome, guys.
Mm.
What's up?
What-
What's up?
It's been a fun week of wrestling so far. Between shows putting out 800 people in the crowd to Glasgow getting live last night.
Mm.
You guys excited for tonight? Well, this afternoon.
It's like I say this every PLE. It's like Christmas. It's
Yeah.
better than Christmas. You
Mm.
know,
Yes,
that's how I
sir,
look
it
at it.
is. What you think, Kevin?
I think, man, it looks. I said this the last time I was here. I'm a throwback. I'm still getting used to this pay-per-view concept of having 5 matches on the card when we were so spoiled back in the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But Hunter and them are conditioning it down to where it makes sense and bringing it back to that old school style of like, listen, sometimes less is more, or it'll
yeah,
feel like more. So I understand that. He's zooming in on the thing. So I think that because of that, the pay per view is going to feel great. It looks like a great card. I told Corey the last time when I looked at the backlash card, I'm like, okay, they're starting to actually book again to where they can impress guys like us. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Because we'll watch a Monday Night Raw, and the main event will be like a mid card match, and I have an issue with that because you got to hit on all cylinders. You could put the women in the main event. Doesn't matter. You just have to have an actual main event. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Don't just put together a typical match. You
yeah.
know?
And it has felt like that. I will agree with you on that.
Right.
This is probably the first time in a long time we actually may get some stories told instead of just 5-10 minute matches.
Right.
And I'm psyched for it. So
And
let's
yeah,
let's jump into it. First and foremost, do you think it was smart not to include the U.S. Championship into this PLE, or do you think it's smart letting it keep cooking because we know it's going to be L.A. Knight and Logan Paul? You think it's smart to let that continue to cook, or should they just go ahead and take that belt off Logan Paul sooner than later? Kevin,
I
I'm gonna give you your
I
thoughts. Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead, Trevor.
I
I was
think,
gonna say,
yeah, if Trevor got it, let Trevor have it.
my
Let
bad.
Yeah.
Trevor get it.
I will say this, like looking at it from the storytelling point of view. I
Uh-huh.
I like that it's not on the card. I
Okay.
like that. I know people didn't care for it. People hated it. I enjoy it. If you look at it in the greater schemes of professional fighting, I should say.
Okay.
Not the title. The title's not there all day long every week in broadcast. It's really random. Like if you look at our WWE's partner company UFC, they they don't have every UFC event is women's strawweight all the way to the men's heavyweight title on the card. It's literally a random title is the main. I know WWE has a lot of titles too, so you kind of get the mixed in, but you also got the title on somebody that's like a Roman Reigns, always in a business aspect, moving the company or moving his own agenda. So I also think him not being in the ring too helps develop, because I know he's training. He's developing his skill and craft. Because as much as I hate the some bitch, he's good. So
Yeah, I
it
agree
not
with
being
that.
on the card, I think just adds fuel to the fire. Because whether we as wrestling fans want to admit it or not, he's good
Mm.
on the mic. He can perform in the ring. I feel like at some point he needs an Iron Man match because I feel like he can go 60.
Logan Paul in an Iron Man match.
So
You
I'm
know what,
okay
man?
with it not being
I'm
on the
all
PLE.
for it. You know what? I didn't know I needed that. That was something I didn't realize I needed to see. All right. What do you think, Kevin?
I'm gonna try to hit you with as much speed on this question as I can. But
Okay.
I want to listen to what Trevor had to say because I wasn't sure what they got going on with the U.S. Championship. But if we're gonna dig into Logan Paul, I agree with a lot. I think I agree with everything Trev said.
Okay.
My thing is, I'm not always going to give you the little positive responses that everybody kind of goes with. You know what I mean? I like to call shit out. I don't like to be the guy who's going to be, oh, WWE's doing fantastic and all this type of stuff. I'm going to call shit out when I think, what works and what doesn't work as a fan. But
Wait. Are you telling me you're being a real wrestling fan right now?
I'm telling you with Kevin Impact, you're going to get the real deal. That's what I'm saying. And I'm telling you that
That's
Logan
box
Paul,
office right there.
Logan Paul. Let me be real with you on Logan Paul. And if it's one thing we need on this platform, is realism. There's a lot of fake shit going on. Okay, so
yes, sir.
Logan,
all means, be real.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we got a teacher with us who's leading the way, and let's put him on the spot and say thank you for your service to this country.
Yes, sir.
On what you do with that, and you too, Buck One. I ain't forget. You know what I'm saying? That handshake we had. Thank you for the service, brother. All right.
I appreciate it, my man.
But going back to Logan Paul, I think Logan Paul is a generic type of guy.
Oh,
but he is this dude is very, very good at figuring out how to get from point A to B, man. Like a WWE superstar. I was having issues with him for a long time because, I just feel like the company sort of speeds a lot of his talent up, and that's not how we came up, man. We fell in love with Honky Tonk Man and everybody else that was anybody because they were organically produced. And you take these wrestlers and you kind of speed them up and shove them through the cart, and it's just like, bro, that doesn't get over with people like me. That's good for these PG fans who just like everything that WWE says. Look, this is good, and this person is a legend, and this person is a top star. You know what I mean? So
I agree with you 100%.
Logan Paul was a celebrity, not even a public figure who came to the WWE, and he had this really, really great match. I forgot who it was against. And he just knocked it out the park. It was at SummerSlam against somebody. I can't remember who it was.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. That was when he came in with The Miz, and it was against Dom and Ray.
When he did his thing the first time, he impressed me, and I'm like, okay, dude might be a WWE superstar. And you can't forget about the fact that he's an actual WWE fan. This dude's got pictures with the Intercontinental Championship and all this back in the day. So he was watching guys like Owen and all that shit. He wasn't watching, whatever else came after. So I can appreciate that. And fast forwarding, he looks good with the championship. Like you guys said, he does know how to talk. And I hate the fact that he knows how to talk because it gets him more over and it protects him. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
It worse.
Okay. Everybody's going to have their opinion. And that's the beautiful thing about the world and wrestling, that everybody gets to have opinion because it'll be boring as shit if we did. Yeah. But the dude is able to get it done on the mic, and he's able to get it done in the ring. The 60-minute Iron Man match, we got to go back to that. Is that something that we need? I think so. If you put him in there against the right athlete, this could be a make or break at a WrestleMania or any other premium event.
I mean, think about it, bro. With Ricochet possibly.
I was just finna tag on that.
I would not mind running back a Ricochet and Logan Paul down the line for possibly like a TNA event.
I'm hoping he sticks around. I'm hoping he's smart enough to go, I don't got to quit. I need to just get their attention, and now they're going to put the spotlight on me, and I could just run with that. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm agreeing with you on that.
Yeah.
I don't 100% like Ricochet. You know what I'm saying? But he's a phenomenal talent, and we need to keep this guy. We need to find. Hopefully, Hunter took him in the room and said, "Look, let's talk. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about money, and let's talk about doing this with you. And hopefully, this can skyrocket him somewhere." And real quick shout out quick shout out to our childhood. Jeff Hardy's back, man. It's good to see. It was rough to watch, but it's good to see that man. It's very good to see that man doing his thing.
Yeah, man, I'm up in the air when it comes to Jeff showing up last night in TNA because it was. I expected it, but it's one of those. Every time I'm just gonna put it out there, bro, and I've said it in a couple groups.
Yeah.
Every time Jeff Hardy gets around Matt Hardy, a DUI follows. And I'm not trying to make fun of Jeff. I get it. Addictions, can.
I don't apologize for laughing.
No, it's always funny because every time I've heard Jeff get a DUI, bro, and I'm like, damn, bro, here we go again.
I'm gonna go one step further on that too. It's now at a point where it tears my childhood watching both of them walk to the ring, and you could just see that their body can't do it no more.
Oh man.
Like that hurts my childhood.
Yeah, that's tough.
So I mean, I get it. I get it. When you do, it's any sport. You do it for so long, it becomes part of your daily that you don't want to let it go, and it's like, it's time.
It's getting there. Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting
and see, and that again, ode to that childhood, but man. At what cost is it going to take?
Right.
Them boys is going to hang around for a while. And we're giving y'all a bonus, man. We're going off topic, so y'all make sure y'all hit that thumbs up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Subscribe just for that and hit thumbs up just because we went off topic. But we had to say that, man, because as long as I'm around, we're going to keep the channel real, man. That's how I look at it.
Hey,
now, man, we have this responsibility to pro wrestling. This is our fucking childhood, dude. You know what I'm saying? And we have this passion for the shit. You know what I mean?
I will always tell people wrestling comes before any other sport. And I play football and I love football.
Greatest thing in the world.
First.
Greatest thing in the world, man. I love it. Absolutely. I'm going to shut up now so I can let this man do his job, ask some questions, whatever. Yo, whoever's watching, man, ask some questions in the comments. Who's watching? No kills?
No kills. Right. He's actually giving me a heads up. My mic is popping. So, hey, let me know if it keeps doing it. I think I may have fixed the issue. But leading into what we're talking about, we don't got the U.S. title on the line, but we do got the Intercontinental title on the line. Chad Gable, does he win the Intercontinental title? And is it help? If he does he get help from this Alpha Academy he has now? Or this new Alpha Academy that I've been kind of talking and teasing about lately? Being Creed Brothers, Ivy Nile, it replaces your Tozawa, your Otis, and your Maxine.
You want to go first, or
go ahead, Kevin. Go first.
So, me and Corey have gone back and forth about Chad Gable. Chad Gable is a guy who, ever since I seen him, I didn't pay too much attention to him when he was with Jason Jordan, but when he kind of went and started doing his own thing and started like looking around the roster to see where he fits, I always thought, and it's not just my opinion, he has a great physique. He has like a throwback look. To your who could I say? Your Mr. Perfects and guys like that. He feels like a throwback in a sense, right? He's an athlete. He has that athletic look, and he's not just a great athlete. He's also a great wrestler that they got on the roster. I didn't like Chad Gable though. I didn't like Chad Gable for a while. I've been thinking, even though he's a great athlete, great wrestler, I just been thinking that no charisma. I didn't see no charisma in him or anything like that, right?
No, none at all.
Me and Corey went back and forth about this for a while. And usually when Chad Gable was on, I usually get bored and I don't pay attention to nothing he has going on. And my thing is, I think charisma and character is important because if you're not tasty, so to speak, I have no interest in you. It's like us going out to eat. We're not going to have dinner together if the food don't taste good. You know what I mean? So
I mean, as a chef, I could tell you, bro, you eat with your eyes before you eat with your mouth.
That part.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair statement. But to me, Chad Gable, he was just a wrestler on the roster. That's it. Fast
I've
forward,
always counted him as like a baby Kurt Angle,
yeah. I mean, a lot of
minus the charisma.
there's parallels people have pointed out, but he just I just didn't like him, and I didn't see too much in him. I just saw him being like a regular mid card guy, and then they put him in this great storyline that I wasn't paying attention to, so I started watching. I look at the shit, and I think it's a fantastic credit for him with the Alpha Academy, everything they got going on. I mean, I feel like all of them. This goes back to what I said about Tosawa. I feel like all of them are more over right now than they've ever been because Tosawa's on TV getting used for something important. So is the girl, so
Mhm.
is Otis and Chad Gable. And in wrestling, as we've seen in the past time and time again, people are put into factions and tag teams and stables, all this type of stuff to help them grow. So they grow
And
together. They,
and
what
they
I mean?
usually, yeah, and you usually get stars from it.
There you go. So
And I'll agree with that.
with this storyline, with this angle, I think it's not just done a favor for all of them. You know what I mean? But it helps Sammy because Sammy's in the storyline and he's got that Intercontinental title, and he's getting beat up. They got all this rush of emotion going on, and the storyline. What you need is you need a good plot, and then you need it to just sizzle and just continue to become something compelling. And somehow, in my own opinion, that's what's happened with this storyline. It's somehow become compelling to where we sit and watching this shit like, oh shit, this shit is kind of fire, and just getting more into it step by step by step. I'm just interested. Okay, yeah, it's a good storyline, but where do we go? What is the end game? You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna get a match tonight. You got Sammy, you got Chad Gable. I think it's gonna be a great wrestling match. Yada yada yada. But what next? Who's going to turn on who? Is Otis going to wake up? You know what I'm saying? The Quasimodo thing, and what follows with the other two. You know, the last time the question popped up, the last time you had me here, and this time again, it's really just up in the air, man, because we really don't know in which direction it could go. We can just assume. But it's pretty obvious that Otis is going to go in a different direction eventually, and I think they're going to just go with him. And Chad Gable is just going to be like, "Oh, y'all going to be turning on me and this and that shit," and then that you can get a match out of Gable and a big match out of Otis and Gable in
Oh
that
yeah.
situation. If you really want to mess with people, you can have both of them turn on Otis and go with Chad Gable and just be here with it, be like, oh shit, I didn't expect that. You know what I mean? So it can go so many
Oh,
crazy ways. I don't
can
think
we
Sammy. You go ahead.
can we get a heel Tozawa?
I,
Bro.
if they thought it out, it might work. If they didn't thought it out, I don't know how it would turn out. I think you got to think about that one first before you execute it.
Bro, you know what though? That
He,
was
I think he can make it
Tozawa to
work.
me is a gimmick. Tozawa to me is just that guy that they are paying to be funny.
Right.
Kind of like Truth.
Yeah. Except truth carries value.
Right.
Yeah, truth
In a
is a
weird
main
way.
event now. I love that truth is a main
Oh
event.
no, truth is great.
Yeah.
Long
I
overdue.
think one more world title run for truth. I think we need to put that out there.
Absolutely.
But
Have him win it twice. Have him beat everybody and hold it for 10 years.
but you get Tozawa going heel. That would be cool. That would be fun because he is kind of boring-isk. Like there's nothing really for him. He's just ever since you took away 205 Live,
This is it.
he's been stuck.
There's
Now,
there's no cruiserweight division.
yeah. So going over to this Alpha Academy with Otis, I've always kind of liked the Alpha Academy, but I've not been a big fan
Okay.
because it just seems like Chad was supposed to be that tag team guy. After Jason Jordan left, they had nothing for him, no belief in him.
Yeah.
Otis lost his tag team partner when they let go of Tucker. So it's just like, all right, you got Money in the Bank. Yeah, my bad. We didn't mean for you to win that. Let me go ahead and take that away from you. We'll give you Mandy Rose. Now we're going to go ahead and take that away from you, too. Here's Chad Gable. And it's just like, here, we have nothing for y'all, bro. Just make it work or you're out.
Right.
Before
They've
Trev
done
jumps
great.
in, Before Trev jumps in or anything else, just to answer your question, because I really suck at doing this. I just doze off into some other shit because I'm always thinking. But long story short, I do think Chad's going over. It makes sense to put the belt on him. It'll be huge if you do this right now. And think about
Absolutely.
it. You could run this for a long time because when you put the belt on him, he can keep abusing the shit out of him. The story continues. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Until eventually Otis gets tired. Boom. Now you got another championship match with him and Otis. But then where does Sammy go? I think Sammy should be going for the world championship. I mean, let's talk top game. You know what I mean?
Well, I kind of got this weird feeling with this whole bloodline story evolving. He's somehow going to get thrown back into it. And I
He'll
don't
make it
know
work.
if I'm. Yeah, to me, it'll work. Whatever they do with him, Sammy's just been that guy. You know, I would love to see a world title on him. I don't know if they believe in him enough to give him that. And that's my problem with it. So, but all right, Trevor, what do you think?
So I'm gonna play off Kevin. I'm gonna play off what Kevin said. So
Okay.
when, like he said, when Gable came on TV,
Uh-huh.
I'm not gonna lie, I low-key switched to the Monday Night Football game.
I think everybody did.
And so I'm gonna call a spade on this one. Whatever the fuck happened to Vince McMahon should be a documentary, because how you go from
Be prepared.
being the guy to build up your middle card talent, because you already had the superstars because you paid them, but you built your mid card, and to the point where we hit at the ruthless aggression PG bullshit, that it was like fuck the mid card. And I feel like then you said fuck the tag team division, and I feel like that's where Gable, Jordan fell. I feel like that's where so many, and I think that's where they got Sami Zayn. I think that's where they got Kevin Owens set at, is y'all are these mid-card talent that we're not going to develop. And I think they're still trying to fix that bullshit from the Vince McMahon era to try to be like, hey, I want it to where everybody feels like they could be a world contender, which realistically, you have the roster, the athletes, the talent, and the training to make everybody seem like they could be a world champion. Now, I will say there are some things that Hunter still dabbles in that Vince do, and I feel like that's what still plays a role in storylines and the bullshit. But to go back to the Chad Gable, I think it's gonna happen the way you said, Buck. So I feel like the Creed brothers come out and they help, but how I feel like you can spin this, because I feel like if you put the title, first off, Gable's gonna win the match. It's this crowd, this title, you have to. So I feel like, and once again, like Kevin said, you can run it for a long time. You have what is now the Alpha Academy join in with the Creed brothers, and they all just say fuck it and screw Sami Zayn tonight, and that's how Gable wins. And you play it out. I realistically think this will start getting stale and boring in between Survivor Series and the Royal Rumble. I feel like in that window you got to close that chapter, but you could play it till then.
Okay.
Yeah, that shit can't run for too long.
No, you don't want it to run all the way. I would say don't run it all the way to the Rumble, just because somebody needs that title, and that card, I feel like that title needs to make a reappearance on the Royal Rumble card.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So I feel like, and then if it's Gable, you can truly run Gable and the Creed brothers like Kurt Angle and the Un-Americans, but nobody wants to talk about that just yet.
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying, I'm saying if you're gonna mimic and pick up
Interesting.
those storylines with the new people that we see today, because let's be real, Cody Rhodes is redoing every John Cena story right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, to me, Cody, not to be that guy,
Right.
Cody is getting stale as fuck.
Yeah.
I love the fact that they're
Yeah.
throwing these subtle shots about him and his personal shit into it. But
And I think that's the
yeah,
only thing keeping it entertaining is everybody's just taking little shots at him.
yeah, and I'm here for that more than I am his whole title run so far.
So here's my thing. I feel like if you're gonna have Cody Rhodes being your John Cena, then this is the perfect time to really push everybody in the Alpha Academy, Creed, all that. You could push the Creed brothers and Chad and do a real Kurt Angle story and run like hell with it and just basically make him your Kurt Angle. Give him every storyline Kurt Angle had. And that is what'll save his career. Now, granted, don't ever have him push for a world title because I don't think he's going to get that crowd reaction to get pushed that far. But he can always, I feel like he could be your Kurt Angle, but on paper, a Chris Jericho with the IC title.
Ooh. A part of me, you know what? Speaking of Jericho and the IC title, I feel that's kind of where they were running with Miz for a minute.
I thought they were going to do it.
I really did. I thought Miz was going to be our not really modern day Jericho, but that
I have so much
Jericho beat.
Miz.
Right. You know what? There was a point that I did not watch the product for about 5 years, so I probably missed it. But a match I would have loved to have seen as the main IC title guy would be Miz and Jericho in their primes. And you know what? Fuck it. Let them fight at their old ass age. They're both beaten up at this point. I still got my money on Miz.
Yeah, but
now you know what? We're finish up because you got me thinking Cody right now. Well, you got me thinking with Cody real quick.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and jump into that topic. Is AJ Styles going to say I quit? Or is Cody Rhodes going to do what he's been doing the last, well, AJ put it out there, 8 years?
Man, we know Cody's going over, man. They ain't taking the belt off that man, you know.
Yeah,
Can I be real? That's the only match. That's the only match that's beyond predictable on who's going to win.
Yes, sir.
See, the only thing I'm hoping that it's not predictable is who else what kind of story they telling this shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
you're bringing a lot of shit involved to it.
I feel like we are rushing so many storylines at one time right now.
Yes, sir.
I think because they know that he's getting kind of stale, and we'll pull this comment up, man. Should Roman have kept that title?
By all means, yes.
What do you think, Kevin?
I think Cody could have gotten the belt. You know, it goes back to this whole thing where it's like, and it really sucks that we're living at this time to where we are, but we don't have a Hulk Hogan, an Ultimate Warrior. We don't have a Stone Cold Steve Austin. We don't have a Rock. Like we don't have all these people we had when we was watching wrestling when we were kids. So now we have a situation where it's like everybody you could count on. Okay, yeah, Cody's a big star. He's got the belt. But like, who's all these top stars you could put him against? You know what I'm saying? We love AJ and we give him respect because he's from our time and this and that. But AJ's kind of stale within himself. You know, you can only do so much with him. You know,
bro. I would have loved to have seen prime AJ Styles, TNA AJ Styles sitting in WWE, bro.
Yes, sir.
Oh God, I wanted that phenomenal. Way before he came over. I was like, why the hell do we not have AJ Styles?
No, when he signed with WWE, bro, I knew that was his curtain call coming. They didn't know when, but why not capitalize instead of beating the body up?
I'll say this real quick. I think it was a Vince call not to bring AJ because he was still pushing Cena. I think that's the real reason.
Yeah, Cena bearing everybody. We had potential stars in the Nexus and just wipe all
Yeah,
that shit off the table. Like there was so many people we had that could have been
I
bigger.
actually like Bad News Barrett. I ain't even gonna cap.
bro. I still, you know what? Commentary, I'm not a fan of him.
Right.
Knowing what he did in ring, because Bad News Bear, I wasn't watching at the time, but I was catching a lot of stuff from Nexus because I've always been that CM Punk fan, even though he's a cancer.
Yeah, I mean,
I will call him what he is.
I'll probably go back to the CM Punk thing in a bit, but there's been so many people that should have been world champion that had opportunities, well, didn't have the opportunity to really blossom into a beautiful rose. Okay, from Chris Masters to Carlito, who's there now. I'm happy he's there. He's getting kind of a main event angle with the Judgment
Yeah.
Day. But there's been so many people that were so good, in my opinion, that I felt that Shelton Benjamin, Jesus Christ, Shelton,
Bro.
if I was riding WWE, Shelton would. At this point, I think he would have been like 3-time champion by now.
Not to cut you off, and I would love for you
Go
to
right
continue.
ahead. Go right ahead.
I gotta say this: why the fuck did we never get Shelton Benjamin and Brock Lesnar? They were wrestling teammates, best friends in Minnesota. Why the fuck we never got that?
You want to know why?
Oh, he knows.
And this would be people can agree, disagree. They did not want Shelton Benjamin to upstage Brock Lesnar. Powerhouse would have got beat by a technical wrestler.
I think Vince was a little racist. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, when you go on live television and be like, "What's up, my nigga?" to a white guy, I feel like you're a little racist.
I mean, I say a little bit because his text messages, you know, that he sent out to Janelle would make him less racist. You know what I'm saying? But that's a different topic for a different day. But at the same,
I could spend hours talking about that, man. But you right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say that. But at the same time, it's like,
well, look at the Godfather gimmick. Tell me that wasn't straight stereotypical.
Yeah, but we did a lot of that in the Attitude Era. I feel like I can't pin that on Vince. But what I will pin on Vince is just the fact that you had so many potential stars and you buried the shit out of them. Just because you wanted to have John Cena over and all these people that didn't make sense. You shoved Roman down our throat until the point that we started liking the dude. He found a way to make it work. He started talking shit, and then you get the bloodline and everything, and it just worked.
Bro, the best thing they ever did was let Roman go heel.
Yeah, absolutely. But a lot of these guys, going back to Cody, and when we're talking about a lot of these guys are PG, you know, that they've gotten so conditioned to it that they really don't know how to blow. No pun intended. They don't know how to get up there. You know what I'm saying? Cody's a throwback, so Cody knows how to do his shit and get over. But and punking them. But these guys, like they just don't have the formula in their head. And you have to work with these iconic, these top stars to be able to elevate to that level. But at the same time, it's like these are not your typical go-getters type. You know, the Kevin Owens and these type of people, like their max level is mid-card. Their max level is what they have to offer. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how to get on the mic and say, oh, it's the three, you know, figure out their character to a level that you be on some, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? It happens sometimes. Beautiful mistakes, they call them or some shit.
I'll even go off that a little bit. And I mean, hell, look at it. I'm not gonna lie, because some of these younger stars are not getting the fuck over. We are seeing recreated gimmicks in just today's form. I hate to say it because I love LA Knight, but that's your fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin, because how else is he's gonna get over? Kevin Owens even had Stunner back that he couldn't get over all the way. I mean,
LA Knight feels like that hybrid of Stone Cold and Rock.
Right. Yeah.
I will go. I agree with that.
But on a comedic level, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like not on a serious level. You know what I'm saying? Like to the point that if you meet him and he'll try to talk hard to you, you probably laugh in his face and you wouldn't take him serious. He's a great talent.
Just like No Kill said, man. Tell me Dom isn't Eddie.
Well, why wouldn't you be like your father?
Hey, but tell me that Dom and Rhea isn't Eddie in China.
So yes. Also, I ain't even gonna lie. I don't care what nobody say. Dom is a god. You got everybody's two fantasy. I don't care if you boo. You cannot. Why are we still booing Dom? He is living every man's fantasy.
Listen, yeah, Dom's living every man's dream. But here's the thing. I think Dom is the best heel in the business, not named Roman Reigns.
Oh, 100%.
He's over
There is nobody organically able to turn around and get an entire audience all across the world to
everybody in
boo
the
him.
building. Yeah.
I'll even say this too. When they set up the Liv and Rhea Ripley match for the custody of Dom in a ladder match, can he hang Dom in the center of the ring? I want Dom hanging, so they gotta unhook him. I'm just saying,
man.
If we're gonna go that route, let's go that route.
No, listen, if we're gonna go that route, can we put him in a shark cage above and you have to unlock him? Like,
don't tell Martha about those plans,
bro. and you know what though? It makes sense.
Yeah.
And you don't have to have the title on the line for it, bro. Dom's already created himself as his own championship.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
You know what? But let's jump over into this. You know what? We're talking all these other companies, bro. Let's talk what one of them has brought to us in Jade Cargill. My question to you, gentlemen: does Bianca and Jade retain their titles tonight, or is it time to let Jade go be a star? And if the reports are correct, Bianca might be missing time with pregnancy.
If that's the case, then it's predictable if that's the case. I mean, if that's the case, then obviously she's going to do it. I mean, sooner or later, we got the feeling that, you know, it was going to happen. You keep watching them come out together, and I keep pointing out to people I talk to that notice how when Jade comes out, you know, it's a good presence. You can tell there's a star there. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I look at her at top level. Yeah, not everything she does in the ring is 10 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? But she's a phenomenal talent, man. And
she's still growing. Star.
She has a presence to her, and that's what I look for in wrestlers. And when she comes out, she's got the great entrance, great music, everything. She stands there, right? And then Bianca's theme starts to play, and her shit gets cut off. And I'm like, yo, they building little by little, you know, the whole thing where she goes, I'm sick of this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's you know, you got something, Trev? Look, Trev got it.
I like that.
Give it to Trev. Give it to Trev.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
Yes.
I ain't even gonna lie. I feel like they fucked up this whole angle. They fucked it up. Let me explain. Remember the whole damage control? Bianca got hurt off TV. Yeah, that was supposed to be her heel turn when she came back, but then y'all were like, "Wait, we want Jade over with the crowd, so we need you to stay a face." I'm sorry, they should have been a heel tag team and got a real tag team run as the women's champions to show how unstoppable they are.
Interesting.
But I can't say because I feel like you could have drugged that out longer. Bring Bianca back as a face because Jade I don't want her as a face. That's a heel. I'm sorry. When you got an aura like that, stay in your aura.
Yeah.
Like Roman can never be a face again. I'm sorry. I know they're going to bring him back as a face, but he should never be a permanent face. He should kind of be like a Randy Orton where you toe that line.
Yeah, and I think that's what we're going to get with this new Roman because they know you can't give him the complete baby face. Yeah, he'll be the baby face when he comes back. But yeah, you still got to let him toe that line. Like, it never turn that man full fucking baby because Cody's got the title. He doesn't need to be a baby face.
Right.
You got to stay edgy for Roman to work. Otherwise, it's just going to be the corny PG shit.
Right. Exactly.
All right.
But I do think tonight they dropped the titles, but I want them to drop the titles to Iva Fire and Isla Dawn. That's more of a women's tag team. I think that this is why I thought the NXT North American women's title was going to be for the main card because That's perfect for Shayna Baszler. That's perfect for Zoe Starks. I don't see them staying as a tag team because, like, how the fuck do you ruin Shayna Baszler from being this dominant NXT woman to, hey, you're gonna be a tag team the rest of your career? Like, that's fucked up.
Yeah,
Same way they did Asuka's. Anyway,
bro,
but
they fucked Asuka up with that streak.
Like,
yeah, I agree with
out
that.
of all people, Charlotte. Like,
Yeah. Amen.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
He telling it like it is.
Hey,
Yep.
you know what?
You said
I'm
we're
all
gonna
with
be truthful. You say we're gonna be truthful.
Yes, sir.
Be
I
truthful.
would
all
hope
for
so.
But I think tonight they lose the titles. Bianca cost them the titles because the knee injury, and Jade just loses it and like destroys this bitch, and
Yep.
we call it a day.
I can see that.
And then I think Jade shouldn't show up on TV on Friday. She should take a week off, come back the following, explain what she did. There's not going to be anybody to come for her because Bianca's only friend is Jade right now. So then you can slowly start building Jade versus Bayley. Now, if you're going to be like, hear me out, but Jade versus Bayley needs to be a very long storyline to give. When I say long, at like 3 months, no longer than that. Let it be Bayley. Let it be Bayley gets her once at the pay-per-view because Bayley's a veteran champ. So let Bayley get her at the first PLE.
Okay.
The second PLE, you can throw in Jade cheated a little bit. Ain't nobody gonna be mad, and that's how she won the title. And then that final one, you have Jade beat her clean. Then Jade just going this tear and whooping everybody ass. Bianca comes back at Royal Rumble. You got your WrestleMania main event.
I like, you know what? Being in Vegas, I'd bet on that.
And low key, that could be night one's main event and let the two black women steal the show in Vegas. And they're both fit each other's wrestling styles. I feel like that'll be the steal of the show.
Hey, you know what? That would be Bianca headlining 2 WrestleManias as 2 black female athletes. And we were there when it was her and Sasha. Can't forget, hey. Now, before we get into, because we're talking Bayley, before we get into Bayley, let's talk some Sasha real quick.
We're going to get into Bayley? Oh, shit. All 3 of us?
Role model.
They're going to kick us off of here, Buck. We can't
listen, bro. If Xavier Woods taught us anything, Bayley's open to some shit. Damn.
You hear that?
But going to Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks, what's your guys' thoughts on her little run so far outside of the company?
You said Mercedes?
Mercedes.
Let me give the mic to Trav, see if he's got something, and I'll tell you.
It's weird. Don't get me wrong. She's an athlete. She's killing it. No issue about her whatsoever. I think she's even improved on the mic a little bit because that was horrible, like a shit show. But it's weird. I don't like it. I feel like with the way the creative direction is now, I get she signed with AEW. I hope she don't stay that long. I feel like that'll fuck up her career, kind of how the first part of WWE was messing up her career. I would love to see her back. I would love to see. I'm not gonna lie. I want to see her come back, help Bayley for like 2 months, but close that chapter of that rivalry because I feel like it was left open.
Yeah,
look,
I think there was a lot left
to bring her
open
back as
left.
Sasha Banks. Let her come back as Monet.
Yeah, bring her back as Mercedes Moné.
Interesting.
Because that would be the only reason any of us would pay attention.
Yeah.
If you said Sasha Banks, it'd be like, and you know what? Like No Kill said, bro. We know she went to AEW for the money.
Yeah. I mean, that's what everybody said. It's common sense.
Bro, tell me AEW isn't WCW.
Yes, sir. No, it's not. It's not WCW. It's worse.
You're right, because WCW gave me a storylines at some point. They were good, then they went bad.
I got something to say about those 2 things, but I really want Trevor to get that shit all out. Give him that mic.
So I'll say this too.
Yeah.
You don't even got her as your main women's champion. So what was the point of giving her all the money?
Okay, now you got to chill.
Stupidity, in my opinion.
Going in.
Hey, so here's my thought on that. Jade Cargill made that title that she's holding relevant.
Without a doubt. But look at it
tell
since
me
she
this
left.
Tell me this isn't all right. You got R-Star. All right, we're gonna bring in this girl right here that everybody is
used to be your
clamoring to
star.
come back, and here we'll put this belt on her.
So I'll also this will be my closing remarks on this topic. You put a title on somebody that couldn't keep the title, and she passed it back and forth between Monday night and a PLA with Charlotte Flair for what, 9 months? I'm sorry. I don't think you got the better end of that deal. And don't get me wrong, I fucking love Mercedes. But I think you got the raw end of the stick because let's be real, she don't know how to keep a title. She still don't look like she's being safe in the ring in that sense. So yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, she's still pretty bland. All right, Kevin.
All right. The biggest mistake you did in your life is pass me the mic. Don't pass me the mic. I say that to everybody in JTV. But look, man, I
he
love
about to make the shit box office.
I love what Trev just said. He brought up shit that I didn't even think about, you know. But let me, you know, let's touch on WCW a little bit because that's a huge topic, and let's touch on Mercedes. Let's touch on Mercedes a lot. But anyways,
you're gonna get Corey upset.
Oh shit! Oh well, Corey, don't block me, man. Don't get offended.
Look,
all right, please, man.
Hang on. I'll make Corey upset by saying I'm tired of Cody Rhodes. I'll make Cody mad by saying Monet ain't really worth a damn. I'll make Cody mad by saying John Cena is technically not a GOAT, but whatever. There's a lot to make Cody mad.
Hey, look, John Cena's the PG GOAT. I'll give him that.
I will say he's not on my Mount Rushmore though.
Man, I'm gonna take the mic over before y'all got so much shit. Y'all got so many topics, man. I'm gonna take the mic back over and say this. Look, Mercedes, I saw her fucking match she had when she was over. She's working with Willow. You know, it's like a house show Japan. They did it over here in the States.
Yeah,
and she got hurt, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? She moves in the ring like a fucking like a peacock or a fucking flamingo or something. That's why she keeps getting fucking hurt. You know what I'm saying? It's like a fucking bird in there is wrestling a human being. You know, and she's not moving fast enough, and I think she's kind of thin too. She might want to fucking start stacking up on some fucking yams. You know, and she signs with AEW. It's all about the money. It makes sense, and it's to put the you know she's been out for a while, so you need that dough. All right. She comes back to wrestling. It's a big deal. I'm excited because I'm thinking this is how you do wrestling. You sign the stars and you make a big deal out of it. But going back to what CM Punk said to Arai, Hawaii, whatever the hell his name is, to Ariel,
Ariel Hawani.
Yeah. The difference between AEW, Tony Khan, you know, WCW is WCW with Eric Bischoff leading the chart, not Vince Russo. Fucking knew how to make noise in pro wrestling. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get Hulk Hogan. We're going to get Brett. You know, we're going to do this. Of course, Eric Bischoff did a bunch of trash ass shit. You know, Starrcade and everything else. Absolutely. Of course, they ran the budget all the way through. Absolutely.
Wait. Starrcade is Dusty Rhodes, sir.
What about Sting and Hogan? Wasn't it Starrcade?
No, I'm saying. Oh, no, Sting and Hogan was great. WCW, I am so proud to give a thing.
I'm talking about when they fucked up. Dusty Rhodes and Starrcade in the history of WCW is different. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. I got where you're at.
I'm talking about the negatives of the shit.
Yes, I got you.
You know what I mean? And then the positives being, you know, the fact that this fucking dude knew how to make noise.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If Eric Bischoff was running WCW today, he'd steal all these people from fucking WWE and it'll be huge. But they probably wouldn't be able to be on TV because I think Eric Bischoff probably would have been much more non-PG now than back in the day because of modern technology. You got to think about it realistically. You know,
Yeah.
so Eric Bischoff knew how to do his shit with Ted Turner and all them boys back there. You know, they signed all these people, and you know they didn't make a lot of stars. I'm glad that they took Booker T and made him a household name. You know, huge fan of Harlem Heat. I got to see him going to the Hall of Fame.
Hell yeah.
With Corey beside me, you know, and while Brett was giving a speech, I had to tell that white boy to put his phone away. He thought I was joking. I looked at him seriously. You better put the fucking phone away. Brett's talking right now. This is a moment. He's like, oh shit,
Yes,
I guess
sir.
I better. You know, so Corey knows better. You know what I'm saying? He acts like a badass on Twitter and this and that, but I don't think so. Not around me.
Corey's
So
a big
anyway,
ass teddy bear.
you know what I mean? So with Mercedes and WCW and everything, Mercedes comes to AEW. She made a rumble for a little bit, and she sides with the company. They bring her in, and they took this long ass time to get her to wrestle. And it's like, okay, so it's like the Bret Hart thing they did in WCW where he comes in and he's a referee or whatever, you
Yeah.
know, and it's just like you waste all this time, you do all this bullshit, and Tony has like this weird shit that he does where like he signs this person and then he puts them on every fucking show automatically. Like,
Yeah.
dude, it's supposed to be a special attraction, you know what I'm saying? And he signed CM Punk and had him fighting fucking like Daniel Garcia
Nobodies.
on like fucking AW Dark or some bullshit. Like, bro, like what? This is CM Punk. You know what I'm saying? And this dude is so.
Bro,
I mean, you need a whole episode of me talking about Tony Khan. Let me just put it like that. All right.
hey,
And
hey,
when
hey,
you
we,
set that episode up, let me know so I can watch like
I,
this with
I,
popcorn.
I
hey,
believe you,
you can be
brother.
more. You can be in it with us. We'll
I
we'll talk we'll talk the downfall of AEW. I'm down for that.
whatever you want to do. All I'm trying to say is that this man literally fucking is just fucked up wrestling. You know what I'm saying? You're not competition. You're not even in that conversation anymore. You
Like
know what I'm
I
saying?
will
Like,
say, going off you real quick, Kevin.
yeah,
If he was smart,
yeah.
I wouldn't give him control of the money, but I would put him in control of everything else. Why the fuck you ain't hired Eric Bischoff to help you?
I said that, man. When he brought him in for the fucking pandemic, he got him reading off a pamphlet or whatever the hell he had him,
Yeah,
and then he's gone. I'm like, bro, what? How do you let this
bro.
man walk out the building? I would have been like,
Yeah,
no,
bro.
You
When
could
they
have been in
brought in
charge of
Eric
the money
Bischoff,
and just let him run. Like then you would have been competitive. You would. I feel like you wouldn't have lost Cody. You wouldn't have lost Jade. You would have been relevant. He would have figured out how to start getting you some younger talent to actually keep promoting. I feel like because he's creative.
bro.
Bischoff is creative, but if you don't give him the paycheck in the checkbook, I feel like you would be right now. We would be like, I mean, who's gonna win this week? Is it AEW? Is it WWE? And it don't matter if it's Raw, SmackDown, NXT, or AEW or AEW. Like it don't matter. It should just be, damn, these are two. Like it shouldn't be that we got this behemoth and then these other companies with great talents, but we're not talking about them because they're ran shittily.
Absolutely.
well, if you, I was watching the death of WCW, and before I had stopped it, a part of where Eric Bischoff brought up was when he had Monday night and only Monday night, they were thriving. When they wanted that other TV show, and they went with the WCW Thunder, and he had to
Yeah.
continue to write 2 live shows, and they were pushing like 15 hours worth of live shows in 4 days.
Yep.
Every
He
week.
said that's when everything went downhill because it was just everybody was on every show at that point. You couldn't really carry stories. But I'm back to what Jay was saying on that though, because when they brought in Bischoff, bro, I was excited, and then he was gone.
Yeah, nah, they didn't do shit with him. They don't do shit with anybody. Tony Khan doesn't understand the concept of how wrestling works. He knows his mathematics. He's a good businessman. Don't get me wrong in terms of like whatever numbers and whatnot. But
kind of.
Yeah,
Because
kind
that
of,
Trevor
right?
Lawrence contract did not make
Yeah,
sense.
and I was gonna say, as long as Trevor Lawrence is getting paid right now, $55 million a year, Tony
And-
Khan's gonna be signing anybody and
and-
everybody.
55 a year with no deep playoff run. That sounds great.
Tony's not all there, and it's obvious to see. You know what I'm saying? The CM Punk backstage thing is so many instances and his facial expressions and all kinds of shit. Like I got hot because when he was doing the media scrub and they asked him, yo, you know, What about the sexual allegations with Chris Jericho and this and that? This dude is answering this fucking question while he's got Tony Storm's hat and glasses on.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you a whole chump.
Yeah.
And you make no sense, and you mad fucking disrespectful for that shit. You know what I'm saying?
It's giving Vince McMahon.
Yeah, it's a serious topic, bro. And I've been telling Corey for a while. You're gonna see. I've been talking about the Vince McMahon shit for a long time before it went viral and posting shit. Okay. And Tony Khan, I told Corey time and time again, and I could pass the mic to whoever has something to say. I said, look, it's gonna come a time when Tony Khan is also going to be embroiled in a scandal. It's probably going to be some shit where like he had cameras in the women's locker room or some shit, or he got like pictures of feet, or he got like a foot fetish or some weird ass shit. You're gonna see. You're gonna see.
So
I can agree with that.
Wrong in that sense either. I like you look at him and he gives like you're that different kind of weird. Not
dark side of AEW.
I will say this too. Where's the rest of the development in the company? Like your commentators are like, where's your new commentators? Like you're not phasing nobody in.
Right.
And I'm sorry, I love Jim Ross, but I'm at the point of why is he really still doing this?
Yeah, he's done.
I love Tony, but why is Tony still doing this?
Bro,
why is Taz every once in a while still? I'm like, get somebody new.
Yeah, see, I like Taz. I like Jim Ross. I thought as commentators, bro, they're great. Tony Schiavone is not too bad. But you're really giving me the guys from the 90s that none of us really care about. Like, yeah, Jim Ross is great. We know his story. We've grown up with the dude in our face and our ear on our TV.
Yeah.
I don't really care to see the dude no more, because is it going to be like when Jerry Lawler had a fucking heart attack on live TV? I'm not wanting to deal with that shit with Jim Ross, bro.
I feel like it could work with all of them, but there's no professionalism in AEW. If they go back to WWE, all three of us will mark out. Taz, all of them, if they went back, it just works because there's professionalism. But in AEW, it's just like whatever. It's like ghetto wrestling or whatnot. It's like it's jailbroken
bullshit.
They know, and well, I'm not gonna say they. Tony knows that as long as he has daddy's money and he's able to put something on TV, he's got a shot. I don't think he's trying to be the best anymore, because they keep telling me we're the best wrestle, and yet I'm not really, outside of a few matches here and there.
For Dave Meltzer, 5-star matches. That's his interest. It's not about making money. It's not about building stars. Tony thinks everything he's doing is just top level. Like, he never talks about anything negative. He just focuses on what he thinks is progress in his company. You know, top show and cable or this and that, yada, 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 XYZ. You know, even with the fucking video game. And I'll pass you the mic.
Oh, my God.
I have a few more to say.
That shit show.
That video game.
I'll say a few more about Mercedes in a bit. And I'll just say this about the game real quick. You know, you dropped the fucking video game. It's free this month, by the way, on PSN. Okay?
Yep.
And you still want to charge people for DLC? Are you out of your mind? The whole point of a season pass is you pay and you get everything, and you're over here wanting to charge people every season like 17, 18, 19 bucks, 14 bucks. You out of your mind?
Yep.
For all this shit for a dying game? That's not how you do business. That's not a smart sense. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And to finish up, so y'all can go into the video game. To finish up, Mercedes, again, it goes back to Tony doesn't know how to fucking work with talent. He doesn't know what he's doing. Okay. I saw a tweet the other day on Twitter. I forgot who. I think it was Misty May or whatever the hell her name is. Went and said, "Oh, I want to be on the cover of this match card or some shit." And he goes and says, "Done." Bro, like, you know how mad goofy that shit make you look on the internet? You a whole president of a company and you replying to comments and you replying to, like, you mad simping right now. You know what I'm saying? You should never do any of that at all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And like Chris Blackman says, Tony Khan writes like a 2-year-old.
Absolutely. But to finish up with Mercedes shit, you know, the writing was on the wall that they weren't going to do anything with her. You know, she comes in, she wins the TBS championship, nobody cares. You know, I like that they signed her at first, and then as time went on, I started looking at everybody's reaction and analyzing how she is on the mic because I wanted to back her as a bona fide star. And then it's just like when you don't have that professionalism, you know what I mean? She really is not. She should not be on that mic. And I hate to say that because I was backing her so much, but she can't be on that mic. And Tony's big on doing that type of stuff. Shit that does not make sense. Tony will book 5-star matches and he'll have Edge jumping off a fucking cage at 86 years old, breaking both his fucking legs like Jim Cornette in NWA or whatnot, blowing both his fucking knees out, you know, and not knowing any better and letting Sting do all that crazy shit. I'm glad he's fucking gone. And then you know, you'll put people on the mic that have no fucking business being there. You know what I mean? So if there's no charisma there and she can't do it on the fucking mic and she could barely cut in the ring in AEW, just like No Kill says she's trash, what the fuck can she offer the company? What is the longevity? If she's just gonna keep getting hurt, she's just gonna keep collecting a fucking check.
Bro, it's haha, we got her. That's all it is, man. That's all Tony signs people for.
Oh yeah.
So it's about hype, man. It's about hype and just getting the pop and whatnot. And it's just like it shouldn't be about that. It should be about bettering the fucking company, the product. Mm-hmm. You signed Will Ospreay and all these people, and they made a little bit more noise again. But like, what the fuck are you doing with Okada? Like, this is a guy that I respect. You got him running around with a bunch of sons, a bunch of little kids. You know, like this could have been like a Bruno Sammartino type, and you turn him into a whole fucking groupie.
Well, and let's talk about, you know, what's going on with the Young Bucks and that little faction and how that shit's going.
Right.
You know, it's one of those things.
I'm gonna pass it to Trav if he gonna say something. I'm gonna let you finish, but yeah.
So, like, closing out on that video game.
Yeah. The video game.
I would say this. You, Cody, Mega, Bucks, y'all started great. Y'all started great because you tried crawling before running and walking.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
And then you got hot and you were pulling WWE fans and you were like, okay, fuck this crawl. Let's run and just throw everything at the wall. And now it's crashing. You put out a video game that, first off, it took you forever to make just for it to look fucking shitty, clunky, horrible. It was a waste of money.
Yep.
I feel like that's why you're microtransactioning everything for the video game. Also, to cover up what you're paying in contracts. I feel like that's probably why Jaguar tickets are expensive too, but you know, that's a different topic.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's a overall shit show. Also, I'm gonna close that chapter with this much. I think Tony Khan be sucking off Dave Meltzer a little bit just to get those 5-star matches. I'm sorry, children, if you're watching and listening. I'm so sorry, but
this ain't a PG show.
Hey, Tony Khan definitely has a set of knee pads and a spit rag for Meltzer, my man. But damn, you know what?
He gonna spit his water, bro. Chill.
Damn, that was good.
Time to play the game.
I'm just gonna touch on this video game real quick, and then we'll jump back into our last two topics. But I'm with you. After a year, you got this game free.
Yeah.
Right.
If you go back and look at WWE games, look at 2K19, you still got to pay for that motherfucker. It is yet to go free. I think that says everything we need to know. And I've played that game. And I turned it off after about 30 minutes because I want to play with the characters that I like.
Okay. So because it's free in the PlayStation Network, I added it to my library, but never downloaded it and played it.
Download it and play it. You'll get a good couple minutes out of it, and then you'll realize that it's exactly the way the company is. It's half-assed put together.
I don't know if I want to do that. I'm enjoying 2K23 right now with Dom as my world champion in GM mode. I don't know if I want to go
Oh
back that
shit,
way.
he's like me. That's what I play. I
Yeah.
play it on 24 though, because 24 you got this camera that you can move around, and I like to just put it like at ringside and just watch it like it's a show, and I'll book the
Yeah.
matches. So I love
Okay.
GM mode on there, man. That shit is a good time.
Yeah,
Big props for
24.
that.
Bro, pick up
23
24.
is good too. Both of them. Both of them
The
are good.
sad part is I got
What?
24. I just ain't bought it for the P5. I had it for the P4, so I gotta.
Yeah.
Nah,
Nah, it's still good for the P4. It's just for the 5, it'll just be better graphics, but it's still good.
yeah.
Same shit. Yeah.
Bro, it was that
Yeah.
23 got me into it again.
Yeah.
And then when 24 came out, I had to buy it. When 25 comes out, I'm definitely going to have that motherfucker on pre-order.
That's gonna be a top
That's,
game.
that,
That's gonna
I
be a
think,
top game.
yeah,
Because
2K
they've been
finally
working.
figured out how to do it.
They still got a few little things they got to work on, but they found
I-
a way to make the game like how we used to play the games.
I was going to say,
Like-
I feel they're listening to us more than what EA Sports has been doing with Madden for the last, 20 years?
That needs to be a whole nother show because I can go on for an hour talking about Madden and EA
Oh, yeah.
and that bullshit.
Bro, I don't even buy their new Maddens anymore. I go into the community creations, I download the updated rosters, and I call it a day.
So,
Oh, they got one of those on there.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fire though.
So to those people that I will say this real quick, to those people that take the time out of your busy life to make updated rosters for any sports games, I thank you with all my
Yeah.
heart because
Hey, we love you.
I only do like my favorite team and then be like, forget the rest of the teams. I'm sorry.
But we're done playing games on this one. We're gonna touch base on Scotland's fucking fire ass duo going for titles today. But we're gonna start off with, can Piper Niven beat Bailey for the Women's World Championship?
Yes, but they ain't gonna do it.
Ooh.
I can't see it.
I agree with him, but I feel like this is the match of the night.
We'll see.
I agree with Kevin. She's not going to win, but this is going to be match of the night.
You know what?
Piper Nivens is fire. I'm not gonna lie.
I was gonna say, man, I would love to see Piper capture the title, even if she's just a transitional champion, man.
I would love that too.
I don't mind it.
I wouldn't hate it. I mean, I feel like that's what I hate to say it because that's wifey in my opinion. I feel like that's what we're doing with Liv.
Yeah,
transitioning.
Yeah,
she's holding on to the title for when Rhea comes back.
Exactly. It is literally you're the champ until Rhea comes back, and then you're gonna lose.
Yeah,
that's it.
But it kind of helps out because she had that title run, and the first time got hurt, and here we are.
She got it again.
So
this time is better than the first.
It's a vicious cycle.
Still piggybacking off that to tie back into this because I'm gonna tie it to this. Give me a second.
Okay.
Let me cook real quick. So whenever Rhea comes back and pulls the title off Liv, because it's gonna happen, I need her versus Raquel expeditiously. And then whoever is the champion between Rhea Ripley and Raquel, I need them to fight Bailey at Survivor Series. But I needed a triple threat. I need NXT included in Survivor Series. I'm sorry.
Well, when we get and if we do Survivor Series, even if it's War Games, can we get Raw versus SmackDown again?
Versus NXT.
No, throw them in there, bro. I'm all for it. If we do a War Games, do a Raw, SmackDown, NXT. I'm all for it. And you can even take main roster guys.
Bring TNA in there.
TNA in there too. Oh my god, that would be beautiful.
Hell yeah, that's passion. That's wrestling.
Like, I'm not gonna lie. If you're gonna do that, if you're gonna do Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT versus TNA, hear me out. I'm okay if that's a 4 or 5 hour pay-per-view.
I never mind 4 or 5 hour pay-per-views because I like a good high off my pay-per-views, in
Like,
my opinion.
I don't even care if you got like 5 matches on the pre-show. I don't care. I
Yeah.
will watch.
You know what, bro? And thinking about it and really thinking ahead. What
Well,
if? Right,
he say
what?
long-term storybooking.
What?
That's how
What
I saw
if?
life all the way.
What if TNA goes from being in Survivor Series to having their own matches at WrestleMania?
I wouldn't be mad.
That would be great. What if
I miss
WrestleMania is that?
I
What
miss
if
watching it.
WrestleMania became Wrestle Kingdom and it became that destination spot for a lot, or a forbidden door?
If
It's a great counter to Forbidden Door.
I would say this, I think if they do it and they pull the trigger on it, and I get what Chris is saying. He's saying they scared to do it. So by all means, he's not wrong. But if they pull the trigger on it, you can outdo Forbidden Door and literally be like every company except AEW until Tony Khan figures out his shit.
And you just look right at these companies and say,
And
"Hey,
I'm
this
not
is
gonna
that
lie.
forbidden door."
I'm not gonna lie. You can give certain promote like shit. I'm not gonna lie. Start SmackDown early in the day that Friday at like 12 in the afternoon, and then like 7 o'clock at night, start the first night of Wrestle whatever, and go all the way to Monday mid-afternoon. I will call out of work. I don't care. I will watch from Friday till Monday. Close the night on Monday Night Raw. I followed that a great weekend. I got to see all wrestling promotions. I got to see a
I was
whole bunch
gonna
of
say,
talent
yeah,
I've never seen.
when you're tying all the promotions together, bro, that would be dope as fuck.
And hang on, I'm gonna step on my soapbox, and I don't know if Kevin agree and you agree with this. I feel like
Don't matter.
it needs to be a pro wrestling Hall of Fame, not just a WWE Hall of Fame we talk about, because
Amen.
there is talent out there that will never or have never stepped foot in a WWE ring, and I feel like they deserve to be recognized for their talent.
Amen.
Well, okay, and maybe we take it a step further. If you keep it a WWE Hall of Fame, you stop being scared to pull triggers on top talent. Make WWE the destination for the promotions that want their people to come in and do that work. Yeah, your sports entertainment, but maybe throw it back a little bit to the pro wrestling aspect.
And I think that's great with them being with TKO and UFC, because let's be real, out of all combat fighting like UFC is where everybody wants to be.
Ooh.
Granted, they complain about their UFC pay, but I feel like that's where everybody want to be, because everybody is going to watch that over all the smaller promotions. I mean, I watch the small promotions because I like to see a bitch fight. I mean,
well, we got a good one here.
Uh-oh.
Talking about Hall of Fame, pro wrestling Hall of Fame.
What murder?
I knew it.
What murder? Yes, he can be in the Hall of Fame. I'm sorry, the best
he
technical wrestler ever. They're not going to. But best technical wrestler in not just WWE, not just WCW, but New Japan too.
Yeah.
I think you know what? If you did a pro wrestling Hall of Fame, I think it would be time that he headed a class.
Owen Hart.
I mean,
Owen Hart belonged in every wrestling Hall of Fame. He's in Calgary's Wrestling Hall of Fame. He's in Calgary's Sports Hall of Fame. Bro, it's time to put Owen Hart where he belongs. Just Mount Rushmore.
I feel like if you're trying to take professional wrestling to the echelon of NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB, you got to open it up to everybody. Make everybody want to come to the WWE because you're the NFL, NBA, you're the brand that everybody wants to go to. Like, yeah, there's Canadian football. Who the fuck watches Canadian football? Let's be real. Don't nobody. Just like right now, nobody's watching AEW. So I feel like
I can name you one player in the Canadian Football League, and he's about to get outed like he did the NFL.
Johnny Manziel.
Yep. See how quick
And the
that
sad
went?
part was, I like Johnny.
Baker May, hey, as a Bucks fan, I'm gonna tell you, Baker Mayfield is Johnny Manziel with common sense.
No, you said that wrong. Baker Mayfield is Johnny Manziel who figured out, hey, I need to close my surroundings and focus on football.
That's what I said with common sense.
Because they to me they're the same arm talent. To me they're basically same and same.
Bro, they pulled the same swag.
But the reason I'll go one step further with you saying common sense, because you're not wrong. Baker realized if I want this to work, I gotta cut shit out and show that I'm committed.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I listened to the documentary. I listened to the Shannon Sharp podcast with Johnny. I understand you got them shitty ass coaches out there that be like, fuck you, fuck your confidence. I get that. But that means you ain't got no dog in you if you can't go out there and be like, you know what? Fuck him. I'm going to show him and get him to lose his goddamn job. That means you ain't got no dog in you.
Yeah. Hey, you know who's got dog in him? Drew McIntyre. Quick question for both of y'all. Does Drew McIntyre bring the gold home at home? Or CM Punk back to fuck that up for him?
Oh shit! Kevin? I forgot about that. I completely forgot about that. McIntyre's got Damien. First, quick shout out to Damien Boricua, from New York, who stepped up, did his shit, and he got the belt. He's representing Brown Pride, and I like him. I think he stepped up. I think he looks great with the belt. He's done pretty good with the belt in Judgment Day.
Yeah.
And Drew stepped up because Drew was so fucking dry and PG. And he just started cutting these attitude era promos out of nowhere coming after Punk. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I started getting more into him again. And I love Drew now. Like, give this man a mic. Let him talk shit. Let him do his thing. Let him be edgy and let him be controversial. Fantastic. You know what I mean? And so you got the Judgment Day. I mean, he beat him on Raw, so they're not going to be at ringside, but I think they're still going to run out there. You know what I mean? Maybe Punk's going to put a whipping on the Judgment Day. Tell me that don't sound big on paper. You know what I'm saying? Punk comes out. Maybe he helps him. Maybe he just helps him. Maybe he could help him win the belt. I mean, when you really look at it like this, and I don't know if he's in Glasgow or not. I'd love to see CM Punk today.
CM Punk's in Glasgow.
Okay, confirmed right there.
It has been confirmed.
Can you imagine the Judgment Day coming out, beating on this boy while the referee's down kind of thing, and you hear the cult of personality play, and he come out with a steel chair or weapon or some shit? He's taking motherfuckers out like it was Austin in 01, taking out the Hardys and all of them with steel chair. Like, I lose my mind if this man pop up and do that shit. But when you really think
that,
yeah.
To add to that, he hits Drew too, just to be like, you too? Like, God damn,
I love it. That's what I'm talking about. That's a WWE attitude. Go ahead, Buck.
Hey, so here we go on that, though, to kind of bounce off of both of y'all.
Yeah.
Judgment Day comes out. CM Punk comes out, takes out Judgment Day. Drew McIntyre is expecting him to come after him. Damian Priest surprises him and retains the title.
If they book him smart, that's a fitting finish. But the way I look at it, I was just going to say that the way I look at it, storyline wise, if you're writing this, you got to use common sense. Obviously, this is TV. Right. Who was it that said Vince Russo said in the WCW documentary? We're writing for TV. We're not writing for fucking 5-star matches or whatnot, like Tony be doing and shit like that. And I agree with that. I'll say that from a storyline perspective, if we're CM Punk, all three of us, it should be in our best investment to help this man win the championship because you want to take it off of him. You know what I'm saying? It's a plus. You're coming back to get Drew, and you're coming to take the championship from him. If you help him win the title,
you wouldn't have that title without me.
Right. Exactly.
I cost you the title, and I put it back on you.
Right.
Long-term storytelling. I like it.
Exactly.
I'm here for that shit.
Exactly.
So I like that because what I was gonna say, you made me think.
Yeah.
I was gonna say if you look at how it started at WrestleMania and at the weeks after, you could easily say that rivalry is right in itself and don't need a title.
Agree.
But to add that drama that you just
Yes.
so
Yep.
now I mean I was gonna say Damian keeps it because I feel like you can brew Damian still trying to break away from the Judgment Day because I don't know if y'all peeping what I'm peeping every Monday night when he's cutting a promo and on Finn Balor and the rest of them. But I don't
It's
know
coming time.
now I'm starting to see, but then I feel like that like I love the idea of CM Punk getting helping Drew get the title and helping that rivalry continue.
Right.
And I feel
mean,
like if you're gonna push that Judgment Day story and pull the title off Damian, which I think is still a little too early because he's still developing. I
agree.
Our issue is going to be all these new champions we're going to get. It's going to be they're not what we're used to, so it's going to take a little bit to get used to them developing, being on the mic, and being in front every week. Right. So I'm not holding that against Damian right now because I'm not gonna lie. Some of his they're getting better, but some of his promos as just a solo champion is a little rough. So you know, but I feel like if you're gonna do that, I like the way Kevin said, have everybody come to the fucking ring and it fucks it all up. CM Punk whoops everybody's ass.
Yep.
And then you go on Monday and you have, if you're gonna book it this way, you give Damian his rematch. He loses and he got to beef with the Judgment Day, or you just have him on Monday night beefing with the Judgment Day all night long. I
was gonna say, yeah, if you pull that title,
like out of that group. Damian out of that group, Damian is ready to be on his own, kind of like Jay.
And you could, you know what? You're right. You could throw 3 storylines into one. Damian losing that title. You got CM Punk and Drew McIntyre for a title over here. You can always reinsert that rematch down the line. But yeah, maybe you get Damian going after Judgment Day. Hey, you cost me my title.
Now,
had you not shown up, CM Punk wouldn't have came out.
Right. So how I would kind of cook Damian's rematch, I wouldn't book his rematch right away. I would make that rematch wait a little bit.
I agree.
Because you're going to give him a rematch against whoever's the champion. I feel like because at this point, he's done broke up with the Judgment Day. He's out here on his own. We done saw him for a few months by himself, and he's showing he can keep it up. He can push it. He can be on the mic. He could basically Jey Uso this shit. But you can have him, and I feel like him versus Drew again for the title at one of your big 4. Survivor Series, Mania, or Rumble.
I'm down.
I like that. Hey, so it just sounds like AEW might need to hire us to help tell some storylines.
I'm not gonna lie. Me and my one roommate, we talk wrestling for like 2 hours, and we be like, "Why the hell we not writing for somebody?" I almost applied for the writing position for NXT. I'm not gonna lie.
hey. Well, knowing Tony Khan, responds to people on Twitter, I think we all should go hit him up and be like, "Yo, let us write for you."
Okay.
I'll hit him up. He don't give a shit about people. He has personal interest.
We got to be females with boobs and other body parts.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, man. Never mind.
You gotta be Corey with a fucking check, a Twitter check, a blue check.
Yeah.
I want to say just one thing real quick on what Trevor was saying about Damian. That I agree with everything that he said, and I really hope he does not lose the title tonight because it's not time yet. He needs to keep that belt. Let's get a big match out of this. If you want to bring Punk out, you can bring Punk out, but just make sure you keep the belt on Damian and have Drew and Punk shit continue, and Damian and Judgment Day shit continue. You know what I'm saying? You got 2 different things going on.
because like I can see the title being in that storyline with Drew and CM Punk, but I still
Right.
feel it don't need it.
Don't
It's
need it.
I
great in
feel
itself.
Yep.
I feel that shit's been
Yep.
carrying a lot of weight without a championship since the Royal Rumble,
Yeah.
and it carried a lot going into that match at Mania with Rollins for the title, to where, yeah, you don't need a title for that.
I'm not gonna lie, I low key wish those three would be in a triple threat match. Punk, McIntyre, Rollins.
Why not make it a fatal four way?
Who the fourth?
Throwing Damien.
Ooh. So
You could, bro. You
I
could easily get
so
all four of them triple for a
I
fatal four way.
I get all four. I like all four. But I will say, if you're doing those three, the title don't need to be involved, because I feel like the only storyline the title needs to be involved is anything with Damian right now. Like, if you're gonna do CM Punk and Seth Rollins, that don't need a title. Drew and Punk don't need a title, in my opinion. And we just saw, let's be real, the only reason that I feel the world heavyweight title was on the line at Mania is because Rollins is hurt. His contract was up and the man was tired and burnt out.
Oh yeah, and
I feel, because low key, Seth Rollins, in my opinion, should have had the Roman Reigns title run.
yeah, and for me, him being that workhorse and proving it time and time again, reinventing himself. Yeah, he earned a fucking Roman Reigns type match, man, or a title reign. Hey, I like this one. Speaking of heavyweight championships, it's an off-topic question. What do you guys think of the Kofi Kingston losing that WWE title in 5 seconds a few years ago? Not to mention on the debut episode of SmackDown on Fox.
Yeah, it answers itself. It's a bunch of bullshit, especially using Brock to do it. It's just how do you do that to Kofi? First of all, he was an upcoming star. Vince McMahon. I mean, come on, Vince McMahon didn't give a shit. He obviously had other shit to do backstage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was busy He was getting busy backstage.
You're not wrong.
And it's just like this fucking dude. You guys were talking about Vince earlier, and I forgot I wanted to say this. I feel like if I was Vince McMahon, man, I have so much love and passion in my heart. And he has said that he's been thankful for the life he had. He just wants to be able, before he died, just to say thank you the last second.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I respect that from Vince. Okay. But, bro, come on. It's unexcusable the shit that you did. And of course, Vince is mentally fucked from everything that was done to him as a kid and this and that, all the frustration that he went through in that trailer, different dads and all this type of shit. You know what I'm saying? All you motherfuckers that's out there doing shit to kids, man, fuck y'all. Okay? Because how fucking dare you? You know what I mean? Like, okay, maybe you got a pass. Maybe something happened to you, but how do you fucking feel comfortable, offspringing that shit to kids? How do you do that? You want other people to feel your fucking pain too? You know what I'm saying? Do that shit to a grown ass man in jail. Don't do that shit to no damn kid. You feel me? And I've never heard anybody say that. I'm the first person I've heard say that shit, and I don't apologize. But just Vince McMahon, you've made bro. I can't put it into words. It's the love of our lives. You know what I'm saying? We went into relationships when we went out of relationships. Wrestling was there. Vince McMahon did all the shit that he did and was one of the biggest parts of wrestling. With all the love and respect to my brand, ECW and fucking WCW, everybody else.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon did his shit and he made wrestling our love, our fucking we sitting right here right now, partly because of Vince McMahon. Everybody that's in the comments is there because of Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon,
okay?
Yeah.
And because this is a great show, make sure you like, subscribe, and share, baby.
That part.
Real quick, just Vince McMahon has had so much tools at his disposal that, like, bro, like, your life was great, man. After everything that happened to you, how the fuck do you ruin your legacy like this?
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And you've been doing it for a long time and you got away with it. You know what I'm saying? You covered up Jimmy Snooker shit. You know what I'm saying? You probably responsible for Chris Benoit shit. Oh,
You are
I hit
responsible
a
for Chris
nerve.
Benoit shit.
I hit a nerve. He probably got Chris Benoit killed. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? So much stuff that Vince McMahon has been a part of. Scandal after scandal after scandal. I mean, Donahue, sexual allegations, the shit that he probably dealt with Saber with, that he hush hush. You know what I'm saying? So many females. Who
I
knows?
mean, who's to say that Brock and Sable didn't get put together as a payment plan?
I didn't even think about that.
Listen, I'm down to go down this rabbit hole. I've been itching
I
for
ain't
somebody
even
to
think
take
about
me.
that.
I've been itching to go down
Get
this rabbit hole for
get
so long.
get this man a mic. Let's get this man some
Go
airtime.
ahead.
You know
Take
what I'm
that
saying?
shit, Trevor.
So to answer No Kill's question, first off, horrible. That made me mad as a Kofi fan, as a wrestling fan, not even as a black person. That just made me mad as a wrestling and a Kofi fan.
Right.
That was just disrespectful.
Okay.
To this bullshit, hear me out. Hear me out. I feel like Vince don't like when people tell them that I think Vince don't like when people are going to stand up for themselves. Owen Hart was standing up for himself. Bret Hart, you fucked them and you killed one. Chris Benoit was starting to stand up for himself. You fucked and killed him. Eddie Guerrero.
Got
I feel
himself
you had to
together.
play in that because you knew Eddie had a small drug problem. I felt like you helped cover up the Hulk Hogan bullshit. I
mean, we'll keep going deeper into it.
I feel
all
like
the steroids he fed. Look at Luger. Led to Miss Elizabeth. Led to Macho Man.
He's a businessman. He's
Like,
a mafioso businessman. Of course, he got the money to kill people off and hide.
Playing because this is what I don't get. Sable and Brock got married a year after he was there or whatever. Wasn't Brock in like his early 20s and Sable was almost damn near 40 or some shit like that?
Brock was 20. Brock was like 25, 24, 25. And yeah, Sable was like right at 40, 41, something like that.
And then the motherfucker still had kids. Well, they're not kids. They're giants and fucking machines and copy and repaste the fucking Brock Lesnar if you look at his daughter.
Yeah. I was about to say, tell me Brock Lesnar's daughter don't look like Caitlin Clark on steroids.
First off, Brock can never lie and say that's not a DNA test of his daughter. Like, sir, you are the pappy to that one. Like, that is you with boobs. If it got, I don't even know if it got boobs. That's just muscle. And
a wig on.
Right. But I'm serious. I feel like that's what happened with Taz too. But Taz was too much of a real nigga from New York to let Vince McMahon scare him like that. I'm just saying, because
I think that's why Taz didn't last long.
Like, you mad at Taz for talking to Michael Cole? Like, that's what was making the show. Taz telling Cole, shut your ass up. Hell, I ain't even gonna lie. I love Michael Cole. But for that period of time where Taz was his commentating partner,
bro, Taz was amazing.
Taz made me hate Michael Cole. Like, shut the fuck up.
Taz was great. And you know what, bro? Hey, Taz and Paul Heyman as that commentary next to Michael Cole was so much fun.
Yeah.
Listen,
it was a good duo.
I ain't even gonna lie. I want to be in the wrestling business just to be a Paul Heyman. I want to be somebody's wise man. I just want to be on the microphone and say what the fuck I got to say.
Bro,
I don't even want to fight. I just want to talk.
Hey, so speaking of Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, so easily Paul Heyman has to be the greatest booker of all time.
So I'm play with you real quick. You're not wrong, and he would deserve it. To me, he would be for sure first ballot. Wouldn't have to wait multiple years to get in. All that. I gotta ask y'all a question, loaded question, and this is go for the chat too.
Oh,
if the WWE and all professional wrestling entities decided to be like, hey, let's all come together and create a pro wrestling Hall of Fame, do you have the wait period like other sports? Like with the NFL, you got to stop playing for X amount of time before you qualify. Do you do that for wrestling, or do you try to give them their flowers while, like, fuck it? I mean, shit. Billy Gunn is still fucking fighting. I mean,
I think you're seeing it now with guys like Rey Mysterio being in the Hall of Fame and still being around. Same thing with Paul Heyman. I think you give them the flowers while they're still doing it towards the end of their career. Like if they were to if AJ Styles were to tell them, hey, by Mania 42, I'm done. If you went and he headlined somewhere, the Hall of Fame class for WrestleMania 42, I would not be upset. And you could even, hey, it's my final run, however you want to do it.
I think it's different. It's different for different people, man, because there are names that stand out more than others.
Yes.
If you had a pro wrestling Hall of Fame and Billy Gunn went into it, that just makes sense, whether he's still wrestling or not. And there's people that is just like with WWE, it's almost like a giveaway. I seen the Bella Twins go into the shit, and I lost respect. I don't believe in the WWE Hall of Fame no more. But the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, like Trev said, this is different. This is supposed to be everything that we love about wrestling, not a hocus pocus list of people you throw together just to put a ceremony in place, to say, oh, it's the Hall of Fame, So I think that whether they get their flowers while they're active or not, I don't even think it matters. I just think it depends on who we're talking about. Like if we had a conversation and said, well, Vampiro needs his flowers, I'll say yeah. And I think he just had his last match in Mexico, and he was moving pretty good, and I got respect for all the guys from our era because they're responsible for making me fall in love with this beautiful world that we live in, of wrestling. So a lot of love for them. But I think instead of that, I think the most important thing to keep in mind should be just don't put people in there that have no business being in there. Period. Top that for Kevin Impact. All
right, we got your JTV television champion in the building.
Oh shit! People are invading.
People are invading, bro. More and more.
It's an invasion.
But this is. I'm with you guys. You definitely got to give them the flowers while they're in this right now. But I like what No Kill said. You got to at least have 25 years in the business before even being mentioned.
I didn't see that. Okay, interesting point you made.
I do like that concept. With WWE, we all know though they're going to tell people no. Just because you worked over here or worked over there. Because, think about it, bro. Is Chris Jericho never going to hit the WWE Hall of Fame with all of his accomplishments?
First ever undisputed champion, 9-time IC champ. I mean, multiple tag team champ.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's overdue, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to do it now with the allegations, but that's overdue, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And that maybe does the WWE Hall of Fame, is it going to get watered down now with all this? Will Vince McMahon be banned from it?
It's better off now that Vince is not in the business no more, because now it's like I tell Corey, we argue all the time. I don't agree with every single thing Hunter does, but at the same time, listen, man, wrestling is healthy as shit right now. Not AEW wise, and that breaks my heart because they should be healthy. They should be doing good. They should be having people that are popping over there and doing shit. I mean, they were starting something with the Acclaim, and that went to shit because I like Max Caster, and man, it's just so much stuff, like I could see Pentar being world champion, Pentagon, one of my guys, and it's just like, man, like it's almost like you wish you were in control. Or fantasy booking AEW, and you would do you yourself. Any one of us could do AEW better than Tony Khan himself. But I think the Hall of Fame is going to be just fine. Hunter's going to hit the right people up, put the right people in. He's bringing TNA in. He's doing business with the right people. Don't agree with everything that the guy says. I still haven't let the China thing go and a couple of other things. But at the same time, he's become humbled in his life and the things he's experienced, and he's trying to do whatever he can to get things over. He's done a fantastic job. They're making a lot of money. The seats are packed. Something that had to be corrected for a couple of years now, and he's doing his shit, man. I mean, we got Damien, we got Judgment Day. I mean, we got so many stars, potential stars that are on TV right now that are keeping it together and doing their shit, and I like it. And I love, I'm a fan of the Miz, and I love that him and R-Truth are getting this mega push. I hope it stays, and I hope that they continue to do that with the people that need their flowers. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully we can go back and explore Bobby Lashley again and give him the proper respect that he deserves, for the time that went in. But you got to be careful with that, because Bobby don't have a whole lot of charisma and stuff like that. Bobby's a great athlete, and he's a great top star, and I'm going to call him a top star because that's what he is.
So I want to play off that real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
So
Take the
mic. With Bobby,
yeah. Hey, people watching, man, show love. Sorry.
Absolutely.
So with Bobby, I feel like y'all should have did what y'all did with Roman. Gave him somebody to speak for him until he got better on the mic.
Got him. Yep. So, I felt like that's what they were doing with MVP.
But that's still not that. To me, it shouldn't have been MVP though.
And they barely tried.
Because who would you put in?
Realistically,
yeah, I'm all for what you're telling me right now.
I'm gonna be 100% honest, and they were okay going on television again.
Yeah,
I if Hunter was okay with coming on television, Hunter would be perfect to talk for him because of the heelness. I don't like Bobby as a face. Bobby needs to be a heel, but he needs a heel that looks dominant, sounds domination. MVP is a mid-card heel that Bobby is not a mid-card. Bobby should be one of your top 5 guys competing for the world title every so often. Like, they should rotate him like you rotate Seth, like you rotate Roman, Cody, Cena, Randy. Like, you should rotate him in more, but you need a heel person to talk for him that brings that passion, brings that energy until he can do it himself. Because let's be real, when Roman first came back and started the whole tribal chief, he talked a little bit, but Paul did all the talking. Paul gave the feeling. Paul gave the emotion. Paul was like Paul made us feel like, ooh, wait a minute, this different. Wait, Roman's a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Roman can talk now. Like, I feel like he needs to be around somebody that can talk on the microphone in a heel way to help him stretch that character. Because if not, just let Bobby fight in matches and never get on the microphone. He should be silent AJ Styles then.
Yeah, because you know what, bro, and maybe I don't know if I'm discrediting Bobby with this, but you could tell this man was a drill instructor in the army at one point.
Yeah, he was.
Because he's got the attitude, but man, he doesn't have that charisma in his voice.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just, bro, it's like listening to me talk, bro. It's bland. I cut better promos.
Yeah.
Listen, I always said this. I will totally sign up for wrestling when it's basically TVMA and I can go off on a tangent. Because I like to call people words that you can't say on regular television.
Oh, bro. That's why I can't wait for
tell me you wouldn't want to be in the middle listening to the middle of a promo and I hit you with, look here, you pussy hoe.
I'm all for
look here,
it.
Thunder Cunt. Whoa, Thunder Cunt. God damn. Oh, this a fire promo. I need to when y'all fighting? When the match? Like
That's
I
the
feel
draws,
like
man.
if we could cut those kind of promos, yeah, I would have been in the wrestling business a long time
Oh,
ago.
Mm.
you can get some fun promos coming around come Netflix, man. I can feel it. I see where they're going with it, and I really hope they pull that fucking trigger, bro. And I know we're gonna get a little bit more unscripted.
Yeah.
I just hope it's within the promo regime. That's what I'm hoping for.
I
Give
will
me
say
that.
this real quick.
What's up?
Because I remember what Kevin said. He said he don't agree with everything that Hunter do, and he's not wrong because I don't either. But I will say I like how they're toying around with these camera angles and camera shots and everything.
Oh,
Going from
these new camera
backstage
angles
through
are fun.
Gorilla out to the stage. Like, I'm enjoying this. I
You know
feel like
what,
that was
man?
very creative.
I love that they're breaking down that wall because we know where Gorilla is.
Right.
We've all heard about it. We've all seen the shit. But it is really
It's
fun
like
to
that
see them.
forbidden area that we've never
Yeah,
gotten.
like they are across. That's that forbidden door.
I put it like this. It's kind of like that. Like I know I keep doing this and tying it to other sports, but it's kind of like the NFL. Like we never really saw inside of draft rooms as much as we do today. And to now get to see the behind the scenes, and then like now to go through that forbidden area of Gorilla.
The cameras. I love that
those
shit.
camera shots.
Hell yeah.
Angles.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoy that creativity.
That's fun.
I wish we would have got that long ago.
Yeah. That is something I'm like, well, and maybe we didn't get it because Vince was doing some dirty shit in Gorilla.
I mean, shit, you sitting here telling, hey, let this person win the match in 3 minutes, and that's because
dirty motherfucker.
You getting a 3-minute head job before Linda comes around the corner. I mean, shit.
I mean, we all should have. Hey, you know what? I think we should have been smart enough to know that Linda divorce and Vince really wasn't a storyline. It was reality coming in.
What's crazy also to me is like, if you was doing shit like this, why you not letting somebody like Paul Heyman or somebody smart book the show while you getting your shit gawk? You know what I'm saying? That's what I would have did. You got all this fucking money. Go ahead.
I think that goes back to that conspiracy theory. He knew Paul would have ran away with it and he'll never get to touch it again because the content would have been fire.
Hey, but see, here's the thing, bro. That's why Vince brought him in to be a writer and nothing more.
Yeah.
So right. If you can keep Paul under you, Paul ain't gonna snatch that shit from under you. Eric Bischoff ain't gonna snatch that motherfucker from under you. Ric Flair isn't gonna snatch it while he's a wrestler hanging out with your son-in-law. Vince was smart keeping people in them safe areas. But what he wasn't smart about is not putting them motherfuckers through text messages.
Well, yeah.
Hey, and think about it, bro. If he would have really paid Janelle Grant, would we know about this? It all started because he quit. He only paid her half, not even half, of what he was supposed to.
I'm going to say this. I feel like the Vince McMahon and I don't give a fuck no more in the Diddy bullshit. If y'all would have shut up and spent the money, we wouldn't be where we at today.
Right. No Diddy.
No Diddy.
Y'all felt like y'all were God and untouchable, and guess what? You got cheap, and now you're not untouchable, and now you want everybody to have sympathy for you.
Hey, and it'll be really interesting at one point when we find out the truth about Biggie because of Diddy.
Oh, he said it. He said it. I thought I was the only one. I haven't heard not one person mention nothing about Biggie with Diddy, bro. We got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. Take the mic.
Will we find out about Biggie and Tupac?
Whoa. Hang on.
Whoa, that's another one.
There's a lady. She'll tell you straight up. And it ties into the Rolling Stones report that just recently came out a few weeks ago.
Get out.
So, per this lady, her name is Jaguar Wright. I'm pretty sure people on YouTube know and love this lady.
I've heard of her.
She straight up said, so Christopher Wallace can get his deal to even start with Biggie, he had to give Diddy head. And then when it came time for Big, after he died, Rolling Stone said when Biggie died, they asked him, hey, can we put Big on the cover since his last album came out? And Diddy said, no, it's put me on the cover. And that's how we got that magazine shoot. She said in an interview, she was like, he legit came out his mouth and was like, I don't give a fuck if Tupac gotta die, Biggie gotta die, or Suge gotta die. I'm getting mine.
I've heard that one.
So I mean, I feel like that. Hey, I'm pretty sure Meek Mill's want his daddy back.
Bro, you really got to think about this, because it's like when Pac and Diddy used to ride together back in the day, and I loved them as a duo back in the day before all this shit came out. Okay.
Bro, before the beef, Pac and Big was fucking great together.
You know what I mean? And then all this shit comes out, and it's like, bro, you, with everything that's been in allegations with Diddy, you know, Meek Mills and all this other stuff, you really don't think that there was instances of some weird shit between Biggie and Puff? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is his man's. They riding together. You know what I'm saying? Unless maybe he hit it from Biggie and Biggie didn't know about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna respect my dude also, because that's my dude.
Most definitely.
But at the same time, like, you can't, which is another thing. Like, how the fuck did nobody saw Vince McMahon doing all this shit behind the scenes? Also, nobody saw it. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's something not adding up there. You know, something missing there.
No kills. I saw that. Yeah, Diddy did kill his ex, but that's a different topic for a different day.
Oh yeah. And you know what, bro? This is easily a fucking episode we all could run. But hey, let's jump right back into this last WWE question.
Okay.
Right.
Should the WWE go back to having Attitude Era type WWE? So I think what he's meaning is, should the WWE kind of run back towards the Attitude Era in a way?
Yes and no. Yes and no.
Okay.
Fair answer.
No, for the simple fact of, if you really look at the Attitude Era from, like, if you step back and look out of it from all the great shit that was happening, really look at some of those undercard matches. That was some shitty ass gimmick of matches. Like, I don't think I would want that sense back.
Okay.
Or have that sense, because like, why the fuck do we need certain shit on a pole match? Like, that's stupid. Like, yeah, I know earlier in the show I said put Dom at the top of the ring, but that's different. That's actually entertainment and funny.
And that's long-term storytelling already been going on.
Right, like, that makes sense to put Dom in a Shark Tank above the ring and see who can open the door first. Like, that makes sense. But I mean, in what sense do you really want it back? I mean, do we really need dumb t-shirt and panties matches, bra and panty matches back? Do we really need the dumb gimmicky shit back? Because I feel like some of the shit Hunter's giving us now is a lot better than that gimmicky shit. But I don't think he's touching what the main card was, like the main event card people were doing. I don't think he's able to touch what Austin himself, Rock, Mankind, Taker. I don't think he can touch what they were doing. Yep. So I mean, like, you can have like flashes of it with some of these stars and kind of play with it a little bit, and maybe still an old storyline from back there. But I wouldn't go back and just pull all of it and bring it back, because not all of it was good.
Okay, I like that. What about you, Kevin?
If that's going to be it for Trev, I mean, this is a very interesting question I've thrown around a couple of times, and I think that he said exactly what I think. I want to defend the Attitude Era with every fiber of my being, but we're getting better wrestling matches now than we did in the Attitude Era. We didn't have that back then. We had it. It was more about character, charisma, gimmicks, stuff like that. You know, and just really badass finishers. Let's put that over, you know, because the best finishers come from the Attitude Era, and a bunch of other stuff we can talk about. But this era, we're seeing like a lot of these matches that you get now are like match of the year type shit, bro. You know, and it could be, it don't matter if it's a man or a woman. It could be anybody, and they're just killing the shit. The women, I love the women's division, man. They've stepped up in such a huge way. You know what I'm saying? That they can literally have their whole show. They can have an entire WWE women's show and it will work. You could
Hey,
make it
whatever
work.
happened to that?
I
Whatever
was just
happened
I was
to the
trying not to
women's
interrupt him, but I
revolution
wanted to know the
pay-per-view?
same thing.
The pay per view supposedly flopped. Trevor, take the mic.
So I wanted to say the same thing, but I didn't want to cut you off. Like
Go
the
right ahead.
Evolve pay-per-view,
Yeah,
I loved it, but
yeah,
it didn't. It seemed more like a live event than a pay-per-view. I think that's why it flopped, and you
okay,
had to pull a lot of the veteran legends back into it. But
yeah,
I feel like now with this, because Triple H said it's not a fucking forbidden door, but
yeah,
I feel like at this sense, you could pull enough women from every promotion to literally let the women have their own pay-per-view, their own show. Hell,
right,
I wouldn't be mad if you gave me a women's, you put all the women on the show, gave them the tag titles, a world title, and a mid-card title, and
yeah.
had them on like Wednesday, Thursday night. I will watch that.
I'm all
You could.
for it.
I wouldn't say a pay per view. If you did that before and it didn't work, you know what I'm saying? Don't be Vince McMahon going back to the XFL. But to have a weekly show for the women, right? You can make it work. You just have to bring the guys into it. You don't have to have guys wrestle on it, but you could use that star power to have people gain interest. You know, in the backstage area, you can have your CM Punk talking to any one of them. You can have big legends visiting. You know what I'm saying? And it can just
Yeah,
work. It will work if you drive it the right way and you take the right women and you have them be the face of the show. It can literally work. Listen, this is me. Time for me for Kevin Impact to be an asshole.
Go
I don't
ahead.
always want to see women in our main event, and I say our main event because that's just how it is.
Yeah.
Wrestling
okay.
is really more for us than it is for women. Back in the day when we was coming up, a lot of women really wanted to say that wrestling was nothing more than sweaty men wrestling in trunks and this and that, you know, and that's people that don't know shit about wrestling, you know what I
Yeah,
mean, or have never been in a ring. And I've trained in a fucking wrestling ring, so I can tell you wrestling is 100% real and everything hurts. Okay, so it's real, and I didn't know that. You know, we know that the ending is planned, but not everybody knows that wrestling is 100% real and every single thing hurts. You feel
yeah, but
everything, and it's all
if
fun.
the ending might be predetermined, and you might know who's winning,
Right.
but it's up. Like, if I know you're winning, it's up to me and you to go on and tell a tremendous story in what 10 minutes that they give us.
And
Yep.
not just that, it's not guaranteed that when we're out there working, one of us are not going to get fucking hurt.
Right.
Okay,
Exactly. And
which is
who's
what
to say?
happened.
And who's
Yeah,
to say you're supposed? We walk out. You're supposed to win, like you said. Injuries happen. You get
yeah.
hurt on the fly.
You got to
I'm
help me.
supposed to win.
You got to cover
Yeah,
me. It's no other
yeah,
choice. If I get real hurt, paralyzed, I can't move. What are you going to do? You got to pin me. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
Right.
So shit. The fucking the product right now is headed in a good direction, a healthy direction, because you're featuring people that are trying to get the product. Oh no, we talking about the women's division, not the Attitude Era stuff. Yeah, I mean, I long story short, I think a weekly show could work. You can have like one of you guys said, have the TNA girls come in, have everybody come in from every promotion. Fuck it, you know what I'm saying? And if Tony is willing to make amends, which we all know he won't, if I was Triple H, I'd be open to working with him. You know what I mean? Peacefully. Let's, I'd contact him myself, bro. Let's do this for pro wrestling. Let's work together. Let's do business. Fuck all this other stuff,
here's a
and
Tony Khan match.
you know what I mean? And it's just like it's not going to happen because of his mindset. He just always want to throw WWE under the bus, and they don't even mention him by name. You know what I mean? And he'll be just name dropping them and whatnot. So I think a woman's show can work done the right way with the right people and embroiled with WWE legends and WWE superstars that will come in from time to time. I mean, you can have people guest referee, a Hulk Hogan, a
Yeah,
CM Punk, whomever. I think that can work. And I mean, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. But I mean, you can fucking try it. At some point in time when you have too many women in WWE, sometimes you can't use them. Vince McMahon has cared and then didn't care,
yeah,
and it's just like they deserve to be spotlighted, in my opinion. So to me, um, they should have their own main event, and they can have that main event on their show. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying take the women away from us on Raw and SmackDown. Hell no, I'm
Right.
not saying that.
Right.
Don't do that.
no, I,
You know
I
what I'm
get what
saying?
you're saying.
Same.
Yeah. So
No,
around there.
you know what, man, and I would be all for it.
Right.
And give us. All right, so jumping back to this, because I'm going to kind of tie it all together before
Right.
we end the show. As the women, I love what we have now compared to what we had in the Attitude Era.
Right.
When you give us, if you're going to give us anything Attitude Era, like Chris said, give us like a Buried Alive match, again, or a Boiler Room match, if we even have those anywhere anymore. Maybe a dumpster match. Give us a gimmick match. Would be fun, but give me a women's pay-per-view you don't have to do it every month. You don't have to give me a women's wrestling event every week.
Right. Once in a while.
But could you do a women's pay-per-view once a year and you bring all of them in?
It could work.
You could really showcase that. And then at the same time, you could even bring in Attitude Era type promos, matches, and stuff like that for this event.
Right.
Wrestling could deal with more Attitude Era events, just not gimmicks.
Right.
The promos were great.
Yeah.
And like you said, a lot of the mid card was mid. It really was. You had to really get through that to get through the good shit. Like, you had to deal with Val Venus and Viscera damn near just being put to sleep just to see Rock and Stone Cold or Undertaker or Stephanie McMahon getting, sacrificed. You had to really sit through a lot of bullshit to get to the good shit.
Yeah.
So, but
I'm in defense of that bullshit. Before you close up, I take back what I said. I'm with you. It should be a yearly pay-per-view, a yearly pay-per-view or an event every year. I'm with you on that. And shit, it was in my head. Like a yearly pay-per-view for the women, yada yada yada, XYZ. And I still think we could still do bra and panties and all that other shit and still keep our women wrestling, in my opinion, and I'm in defense of that.
I'll go
Absolutely.
right. I'll do that. I'm gonna agree with both of y'all because y'all both not wrong.
Okay.
But I would do it like this: if you're gonna give them that one pay-per-view a year, do it in that 5-week gap we got between the last pay-per-view and WrestleMania.
Okay. Cool.
Because I'm sorry, I feel like that 5-week gap you start getting like, God damn, we need something? Because some of these stories are getting like if I'm being honest, the Rock part of the Bloodline storyline, don't get me wrong, it was good, but like that 5-week draw out started being like, shit, can we get to the point already? Like, damn.
Bro, there was a lot of times leading up to Mania that I'm just like, can we get to Mania now?
Right.
Like, you're doing great. I love you're telling me a little bit of a story, but it's just like,
and I will even say this, like having that all women's pay-per-view somewhere in between that, I would guess
that would be fun.
I would say like week 2 of that 5-week window, do it like week 2. That'd be a nice, like, okay, we get a little refresh of all the women before Mania, where I still got 3 weeks before we get to Mania, but now it don't seem so drawn out because you get a small all women's pay-per-view somewhere in between that.
Okay. I like that. I like that idea. But
I want one more thing for next time. For next time, though.
All right.
How to put it? Okay. Never mind. It won't come to me now. I take that back. I'm sorry.
I hate when that shit happens.
I do too. Because it was a good one too.
Hey, well,
we can bring it back up. Yeah, bring that shit back up.
Pop back up, man. You can send me a message.
Because it had something that, like, I'm not even gonna cap. It was like an idea to like for future shit. Like, that's what it was at.
Okay. You know what? Hey, send me a message on that if it pops back into your head. But hey, I do have one of JTV's own, their champion wanting to come on for a future episode as well. So I think we might need to run this back. And I'm gonna get with Derek. We might have to do an entire invasion, Kevin. You might have to get all of your boys on here, and we're
Yeah,
all gonna
man.
have to collectively hit Corey up.
Listen, we're all wrestling fans. Y'all don't got to hit Corey up. I'll bring his monkey ass to him. But they're gonna kick me off the air for saying that. But
It's all right.
I'll bring Corey in here. But these JTV guys and girls, very talented players on there. You know, who have passion for wrestling, who love this industry a lot. And it goes back to what we was talking about earlier in this chat, that they need us in wrestling right now to be
Yep.
writing for it, being a part of it in some capacity. And this is the shit I argue with Corey about, because NXT and WWE, they always want to get like the 5-star athlete, the ex NFL, the ex person that was in the Olympics. Bro, sign fans. Sign fans that can wrestle. Sign people from the streets like Razor Ramon and shit. You know what I'm saying? Give them a chance, because that's how you get real motherfuckers that come in and change the business. Not somebody that's PG with a robotic answer. It's like, oh, the only thing that I know is push-ups and sit-ups. You know, come on, man. Where's the realism? You know what I'm saying? Bring somebody in that got shot like 6 times and shit. You know, like some street shit. I need a new Jack, man. I need a new Jack in wrestling, man. God damn it. God damn it. So you JTV guys and girls, if you got the guts to come on this show, this is the #1 show right now. Come on down. You hit me up. You ain't even got to talk to the boss. You hit me up, and I'll talk to the boss, and we'll make it happen. If you got something to say, this is the show, man. We all got opinions. We need to share this with the world, bro. This is important. Me and my boy No Kill's been talking about this shit. We're trying to put together a podcast just to talk about everything in the world, not just wrestling. It is important. We have to get our opinion out.
I won't own. Y'all do that.
I got you. I got you.
Bring all the fucking smoke.
I got you, boss. But we have to, this is important, bro. This is our era, our lifetime. This is our time to make an impact. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So why not top that? Boom.
Hell yeah.
That's it. That's it.
And I appreciate y'all for coming on, man. We're getting pre-show hopping up right now, so
getting ready
let's
for
go enjoy. Scotland's
WWE.
getting lit, so let's get lit.
Let's go. Oh, they